Summit 4 right here, 95.7 The Game, all 6 hosts at Fremont Bank in Fremont. And we're talking out all pieces of the Warriors offseason. The biggest bug, and I know we already touched on it a little bit, is so many of these things that feel smart. Financial flexibility. Let's hold off on Jonathan Kuminga. Markkanen's not the right guy. Let's see this, let's see that. All feels like a ticking time bomb with regard to Steph Curry. And I hear it. If people feel like that, Joe, you've said you're willing to play that poker game?
No, specifically, I just don't think he can have his cake and eat it too. You can't take up all of the cap at the end of your career and then turn around and say, well, you guys can't build a team around me. It's very difficult. So if he shaves a little off and he plays a little with the Warriors in the sense of like giving them some financial relief, then yeah, we're going to do everything we can to acquiesce and build around you.
Players barely. LeBron got all kinds of credit because he gave back $1 million.
LeBron picked the coach had them draft his son.
Exactly. Steph Curry he's never shown himself to this point to be that kind of guy. It doesn't need to be an angry thing. It doesn't need to be I'm out of here. Yeah. It could just be like, you know what, I'm out of here.
You could do all the right things with him. Like you acquire Lowry Markkanen. He could want out 2 years no matter what.
It's like the season salt. Lowry.
I know, but he could want out no matter what. Like if the NBA has taught us anything.
But I got a question.
That's scary. If Steph Curry changed,
things changed.
Best case scenario: Steph Curry retires a Warrior. So how many more years does he play?
I don't know.
4. Yeah. No, the last year of his contract, is he starting? He is. He's starting.
Why not?
At 40 years old, making $72 million.
No, he's better start him at 72 million.
He talks in absolutes like
unbelievable.
Can just tell you guys he could be like Tom Brady?
Yeah, unbelievable.
He like Tom Brady, right?
So he did. So this is the problem with Curry and Clay and Draymond is it will never be easy for them to come off the bench here. Steph Curry, I could easily see in 2 or 3 years going to a team, becoming a sixth man or a starter, but having less of a role and being a key cog.
Why is it such in ink that he's going to decline at such a level? You're watching athletes all over sports.
What about the second half?
What about the second half?
Help.
Small sample size.
So he has no accountability.
No, but Steiny, I won't say
he can stink as long as everybody else stinks and he can get away with it.
If you think Steph Curry's a problem,
no,
you're the new Helen Keller.
His age and his age is a problem.
But Steiny, that's a small.
It's a problem.
His game is not a problem. Why are you so fixated on the birth certificate?
Because he's not getting.
Watch him play 26 a game. Why are you worried about his age?
Is he getting better or worse?
Are you getting better or are you getting worse?
I'm getting worse.
So am I.
I'm getting worse. Okay, well then just acknowledge it.
Man, LeBron's getting worse. He's still stellar.
Right. And how are they?
Watch Steph play. He's not your problem.
Do you concern yourself with this? Again, I'll read these numbers again. The first 21 games out of the All-Star break. Steph Curry that he played. 21 games out of the All-Star break. 41% from the floor.
Gotcha.
36% from 3. 22.7 a game.
Oh, still
That's not Steph's numbers.
No
He's
doubt.
a 50-40-90 guy. This is
Wasn't his fault, Bonta. Wasn't his fault.
You watch him work.
And that's with Klay Thompson.
No, but there's nothing around him to help the game become
now it's nothing.
easier.
But we won a title 2 years ago.
How hard is that? If I got no receivers, I'm not going to be able to get passing yards because nobody can catch the ball.
So you're saying they missed Jordan Poole a little bit?
No, hello.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one. You need another
Willard,
playmaker.
This dude is not. He doesn't have a cane or a Whit Walker. Steph Curry's still stellar. I'm not telling you what he is the 25-year-old version. He has no HELP.
I think we get way too wrapped up in the future. What's the old adage that 80% of what we worry about never happens? So when we sit here right now and act like we know what 3 and 4 years is going to look like, Steph will play like this, his salary will be this is what the league's going to look like, we have no clue. That's why when somebody wants to offer up a 2032 first-round draft pick, have it. What the hell is that mean?
Right, but let's just be realistic. Had they brought Paul George in here, he would have been making $60+ million at 38.
I'm good off that.
If you extend Steph Curry right now, he'll be making $70 million at 40. Where are we going?
But
you don't know that he's going to make $70 million.
And
Well, if he wants an extension this year, he's going to want it.
If he takes the extension this year.
Who even said we're talking about that?
Because Mark Stein put out and ESPN put out that he is extension eligible because the maximum the maximum you can have under your contract in this CBA is 5 years with the team that you're with. If you're a free agent, it's maximum 4. So he can get 3 extra years after this one, and if he does, it's at the maximum rate because of his particular achievements that hence why Jason Tatum's getting the super max and why this is written in stone. This is very rarely are these guys taking significantly less.
What I want to know from the panel is, do you believe Steph Curry can lead a championship team as the guy on an NBA team?
No, I think that portion of his career in this franchise, I think it's behind us. So,
as the guy, can he lead a team to a championship?
I don't think so. And
who are the other guys?
Here's
say Paul George.
That's what I want to know.
But what if
I don't think Paul George helps. I don't think Paul George gets you out the first round.
We just did it in June of 2022. That's not 10 years ago.
2 years ago.
Are you telling me
we don't even know.
So do you not believe Steph Curry when he says things in the NBA change quickly?
He's talking about get him some damn help.
So he's not talking about how a team goes from a championship team 2 years ago to a non-playoff team.
He's aging like LeBron James, man. LeBron is not what he used to be. He's still effing great.
And he's also around Team USA thinking, boy, life is good here. Wait till I go back to training camp.
What if we open our mind to what is needed to win a title? We don't even know who the guy who just won a championship is. We don't even know who their best player was.
Well, Tatum was during the regular season.
Yeah, but he didn't win the NBA Finals MVP.
Finals MVP, though, man. He led them in points, rebounds.
You got to have a collection of players. You can't just have one guy.
They were a great team.
How old
if Steph is your
are the two best players on the Celtics?
27.
They're both in their 20s, but are you saying that Steph Curry couldn't be one of a 2 or 3 person group that played at an unbelievably high level if some of the other guys might be in their 20s? If that's what you're asking, firmly I answer
Didn't Clay
yes.
just kind of tell us, though, that when he talked to people, he wanted a chance to win?
Yeah.
And he went to Dallas.
But you know it was way more complex
way more
than that.
But if he had a chance to win, don't you think that eases some of the pain if he knew that he could win here? And another one here with his brothers, Steph Curry and Draymond Green?
I do think that the baggage that was present here, whether it's coming off the bench or the fact that he was going to be expected to make less than Wiggins, less than Draymond by a long shot,
or Dibs.
Those are things I don't think that you could sublimate your ego to that point to now be a 6-man on your old team, and you're going to make 1/3 of what you used to make.
I don't think it was the 6-man out. It was the finishing lineup when he threw a fit in Brooklyn saying, he was talking to Anthony Slater and Guy Santos finishing it. These players care about finishing in the fourth quarter money time. Or when the casuals tune in to see who's going to win a basketball game.
Or the infamous dinner that we hear about where Draymond drove to Joe Lacob's house to talk business, and what came of that was a 4-year, $100 million contract. And Clay goes golfing, invited by, and this I tell Joe Lacob was right here. I mean, you go golfing with Clay with the rat on the table. The biggest rat there ever is my future and contract with the Warriors. My boss invites me golfing, so Draymond breaks bread and gets a contract, and you're telling me the boss doesn't even... I would have texted Joe in the car. Hey, I'm in the car. Did we forget to talk about something? I'm in the light. Do I need to come back? How could you... that's crushing. You could have told him it's over. Clay, I don't see you in the plans, but not to talk about it on the golf course. Oh, my... I could run out here and jump off the building. That is so disrespectful.
Don't do that.
That's why
Let me tell you what some people think is disrespectful. Talking work on the golf course.
I'm with them on that.
Oh, I don't know about that etiquette.
What's the old adage? The biggest
Say the 2 non-golfers.
Tell us that. Business meetings are made on the course all the time, right? Business deals.
That's a myth.
Willard, when you heard that, what did you
we don't know
think?
that. We're not golfers.
Joe, why wouldn't you talk about business?
You notice everybody here has brought up, but it's this, or it's this, or it's this, or it's this. And
that's a big part to me.
But the bottom line is the relationship became toxic. It just did. And there are many, many reasons for it. And both sides, I would argue, have some fairly decent reasons as to why. But that's where it arrived. So I don't think it was about this one thing or that experience over here. The relationship became toxic. Over the last 6 weeks, they barely talked. So we act sometimes like it was this close, or this could have happened, or that could have. It was never close.
So your analogy is like this is the divorced couple going on a great little Hawaiian trip, and it doesn't save the 5 years of disruption, right?
Clay and the Warriors like, maybe we should have a kid.
That's exactly what I was just going to say that.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, what about this? Want to get, because you said something earlier that stuck with us. By the way, Warriors Summit here at Fremont Bank in Fremont. Thank you all for being here. All 3 shows here for 2 hours, heading for another half hour to 6 o'clock. Earlier today on your show, Matt Steinmetz, you said they are the Golden State Warriors, not the Golden State Currys.
Right. And that differentiates the fans from before 2010 to now. Yes or no?
No.
I think it does.
No.
I think it does.
How would you know? A lot of us up here are those fans from before Steph Curry.
Well, that's my point, is most fans who have lived through 1975 to 2012 understand what this team has done the last 12 years and that it's about the Warriors. It can never, ever be about one player.
Every time you say this, and let's not spend much time on the Lakers, but I listen to your points about Steph, and I watch.
Well, they're wrong. The Lakers are wrong.
And that's fine. I wanted to know if you thought they were a joke. Because they literally handed the keys over to a 40-year-old. It's all the points that you're saying are absurd.
I don't like it.
They're doing it right now.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I just wouldn't. I mean,
And that's for a guy who played for all these other organizations first. Like you've got to enter that. I know it may not be smart business, but it's kind of the analogy, because I just did one of these. The analogy is always it's a vacation. It's a terrible financial move. But sometimes you've got to do it for the mental health of your family and the people around you. Steph Curry, keeping him forever may not be the perfect financial thing to do. But damn it, from an emotional standpoint, these people want that.
But we
need that.
Okay,
That's
so
our guy.
You cited financial and emotional. Yes. I noticed you didn't say basketball.
That's part of it, too.
Well, which part?
Certainly right now it still is. He's still your best player.
He's still your best player.
Like you're you sometimes sound like you want to give him up for like a hope in a song.
For Laurie?
Absolutely not.
Who is this next person that you're going to get? Is it just a faceless someone in high school right now?
No, but here's the thing. If you make moves now, then after the Steph Curry era, you will give yourself multiple options. If you lock yourself into a strategy now where you do everything for him, there's a chance that when he leaves, not only does he leave, you have no flexibility. That's would be my biggest concern as a Warrior fan.
It's fair. I think it's a chance most people are willing to take.
Exactly. I would say Joe Lacob would be the first one who's willing to take that chance.
Well, I would say he'd be the last one. I'm honest.
Knowing what Steph Curry means to his pocketbook and their bottom line.
Why do you say that, Steiny?
Because Joe Lacob's a businessman. And the whole,
And what's the best thing for business? It's having Steph Curry, the number one entertainer in the sport.
Well, let me ask you this. Does Joe Lacob care about winning or selling out the building?
Both.
Exactly.
What's more important?
Well,
I guarantee it's winning. You know why? Because if you win, you will sell out the building.
Exactly.
You will.
Hey, Steiny, didn't Joe Lacob deny Steph Curry a no-trade clause in that contract? Steph Curry, that is. I don't know if he asked for it, but it was basically not in the deal. Steph Curry.
So what do you mean by that?
What I mean, that's to Steiny's point. Joe Lacob is a businessman.
He's not
going to give. Hey, no trade clause for you? No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to have myself some flexibility.
There's only a few players in the league who have that anyway. So
you would think Steph could be one of them, though.
You would figure.
You would think that Steph is one of them with the Golden State Warriors and what he means to this organization in this region. Just a little nugget.
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that what we saw, Klay Thompson is a legend.
Yep.
And he apparently just got disrespected. But Steph, he won't disrespect, or Steph's in an entirely different category than Clay?
But Joe Joe doesn't believe that he did disrespect Klay Thompson.
And he won't think that he disrespected Steph when he disrespects Steph.
Joe will look at this and go, look, we understand we can be compassionate for how we got here, but the truth of the matter is, over the last 5 years, he just gave Klay Thompson $218 million for 178 games.
Listen.
That's a fact.
That's not fair,
listen,
though.
But it's true.
Come on, what are you not going to do? Pay him coming off the 20 ACL and get back up to the finals?
You are, but that's.
And he made up for it by helping you win the 4th championship.
There's no question. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you that is how Joe looks at some things. He's not going to get too emotional about it. It's not so much that Steph Curry is tied to emotion. He is tied to business. He is your best chance. He is your business office. He is your sell out the building. He's all of those things. He's still very much that. So it's way too premature to me to start talking about his exit or what this whole thing looks like without him someday.
No, we're about 6 months away from asking that, I think. I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding.
No,
I'm not kidding. Hold on.
We could be.
That's all I'm saying.
But
things change quickly.
They do.
Even Steph said it.
Yeah. If they lose 3/4 of their games between now and the All-Star break, then that conversation becomes more relevant.
And I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility.
It's going to be on media day. You don't think somebody's going to circle back on media day with the Warriors and say,
they'll ask him the question, but he's going to answer it the same way.
But it's going to be asked over and over and over. When they go on the East Coast, it'll be over. It'll be on every show on ESPN, Fox Sports. Then we're going to start talking about it. And if the Warriors struggle out of the gate and they get to that All-Star game, and Curry's going to be looking around like, damn, it's just me.
No doubt.
That kind we tended on this a few weeks ago. This conversation around the corner.
So
there you go. Especially if he's like if he's playing in the All-Star game at home and playing with great players, and all of a sudden he goes back to playing with the Warriors again. It's going to be a cold reality.
It's literally what he's doing right now at Team USA.
Yeah, exactly.
And AD is buddy with him. Every time I see Curry come off the bus, AD's right behind him. Oh, I love Curry, teammate.
Is there any scenario in which anybody would consider, not now, but in the future, trading Steph Curry?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair, but just know that your greatest asset, by far, you're never going to utilize.
You are utilizing him every night when you get all these fans to show up and wear his jersey. It's not just about basketball.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's not only about basketball. You think Joe Lacob right now would say, you know what, I'll lose $100 million this year if I can just make it to another Western Conference final? No chance.
He is not going to lose $100 million, and they're not good. And if they're not good,
but Steiny,
with Steph Curry,
why are they not the second April?
But if they're not good with Steph Curry, he must entertain that.
I disagree with that, because if this market has told us anything, with the Giants down the street, you better have a star player. Because the Giants won in 2021, and we really didn't give a damn. No. And we didn't come up to the ballpark the next year, and we sure didn't come to the ballpark last season, and we're not going to the ballpark this season. You better have a star player. People will come see a star a little bit. Other fans are coming to the ballpark. Other fans are coming to the ballpark. Come on.
Yeah. That's fair.
But no, seriously, you need a star. You can win without star players. If fans are going to be like, can't really hug anybody. I can't really get emotional with anybody. If you have a star player, you could be mediocre in this market, and fans will still come. We watched it with Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds last 3 years, the Giants stunk, and people still went to the yard to see Barry. You got to have a star player in this market.
It just feels like you're already assuming that these things are happening, though.
They should be thought about.
Well, I'm sure
the front office must think about.
I'm sure they think about every scenario. But
they must.
But it sounds like you're assuming that the team is going to be bad this year.
No. You guys are assuming. No. You guys are the ones that are making the ultimatum of, under no circumstances would we ever part with Steph Curry. Why would you take that off the table?
Because they're reacting with what they know right now.
Okay.
You're asking them in this moment on Monday, July 8th, 2024, would you consider it? No, because there's absolutely nothing on the table that makes that make sense. Now, in February, if they stink out loud, let's have a new conversation.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not now.
It's not relevant
so incredible.
It's absolutely
they were
relevant
in on Paul George, so we could sit there all day. I don't know the sources. I don't have any. That signaled to me they were doing everything for Steph.
All right, this is Summit number 4, 95.7 The Game in Fremont. At Fremont Bank. Coming up next, we're not done with our Warriors thoughts, but also coming up next, we have a pretty significant station announcement to make. So we're going to do that. Coming up next, here it is, the Summit in Fremont on 95.7.